Sorry?
Did you not know?
No,
Or the microphone.
Why not?
Spent ages training for it as well.
no. Not mine,
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Something about only cool kids or something like that.
Have you been before?
I don't know. She's got family stuff, unfortunately, which is good, to be honest with you. I'm glad they still
It's a
talk to her.
long journey also for
You're glad they still
going
talk
and
to
coming
her,
back
why?
for just an hour and a half.
Their family's fun.
I love her fun. Oh my god, I've never met any of them. Or
Her
spoken to
sister's
any of them.
nice, you met.
Oh, you've met
No,
little
no,
people.
no, the like little ones, yeah, like her mom, that kind of stuff.
Her mum's really nice.
But I'd love to meet. They're
Is
very fun.
Alva the youngest?
Yeah. We'll invite them to the appreciation dinner. They came to the Manchester one.
You send out the invites too late.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You need to. Bit
Don't-
notice, please.
Honestly, Auntie, don't get me started.
Bit notice, please.
Don't get me started.
Yeah.
Tahani's here, I don't want to set fires.
Yeah, is it started?
Yeah.
Oh, started? Oh, okay.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Alhamdulillah, very lucky to have Dr. Hani, the founder of Islamic Relief, with us today. Inshallah, he'll also be attending an event this evening in Batley, fundraising dinner for Palestine with one of our partners, IMWS. 41 years ago, this charity started, Islamic Relief, and alhamdulillah, it's grown to be the biggest charity, Muslim charity in the world. Additionally, on top of that, Dr. Hani has also founded the Muslim Charities Forum. So he wasn't the type of person that was selfish in, building his own charity. He also wanted to give back and ensure that all of the Muslim Ummah, all of the organizations, gives his time, gives his energy, gives his effort, so that we are all doing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's work. And one of the lessons, inshallah, that I've personally taken on Dr. Hani is having a unity mindset and a unity vision, regardless of where you're from, regardless of your background, regardless of your identity, what masjid you go to always have this to bring, especially the ummah, people together. Forget the differences, bring people together. And we're very lucky, alhamdulillah. Dr. Hani is was very eager actually. Last week he called me and he was like, listen, I'm coming to Batley next week. I want to come a few hours earlier to speak to volunteers and a few donors as well, inshallah. So very lucky to have him. I will say, inshallah, obviously Dr. Hani is going to give some lessons and speak about his journey and so on, and give some reminders. But towards the end, inshallah, it's a good opportunity to ask any questions, because there's a lot of wisdoms, inshallah, hikmah that we can learn. So without further ado.
Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu ala Rasulullah. Thank you, Bradford Sharif. You beaten Birmingham Sharif. Alhamdulillah. Coming back to Bradford twice in a week is making nearly 1,000 miles in and out. Alhamdulillah, I'm very happy to be with you here. I'm very honored, and I wanted to use my time to learn from you more than talking about myself or my journey or my experience, because most of you might have seen the work of the organization and still seeing it. My motivation today is to be with you, actually, and to answer difficult questions. Sometimes people can call it naive questions, or sometimes people can call it stupid questions. It doesn't make any difference for me. Just the only difference will make for me is I want you to ask. I want you to speak. I want you to act, not to be sitting dormant. Cannot afford to see what's happening in the whole world now and to sit dormant, whether to advocate for the Muslims or the non-Muslims. You are to advocate for humanity, for the rights of people. This is what I want you to be confident in yourself, to be enabled to lead, to be enabled to be listened to, not all the time to be listening. I'm very happy to be black, very happy to speak a broken language, very happy to be having different culture, because my color, my tongue is a God-given gift to me, and I cannot change it. Actually, that's why I'm very proud of what Allah has given me. Our journey in this country go back 43 years ago, especially the charity work. It started with me without any planning, without any experience. No experience, no planning, no strategy. But we started to respond to the people with people at your age, secondary school student, university students, and when in the car we're discussing this nearly 3 hour journey, a lot of discussion about the trust of the mothers and the father to give us their children in the 80s. At that time, it's very difficult to give the children to a non-Asian to learn from them and to be with them. And even the word of volunteerism was described to me by Brother Aflaq from Islamic Relief. I said that we did not realize what volunteerism was till we came out and our family were sending us out from this area. Great people came from this area, like Jangir, Malik, like Shaheen, like Anwar, like Sikandar Ali, like Bastam, Javid Bastam, and Javid Bastam or not?
Javed Basra.
Yeah, are you sure? You know the name. You know the man, huh?
Yeah, I think I know him.
Anyway, alhamdulillah. So those people came out from nothing. Don't ever think that we have been educated to become manager or to become leaders or to become visionary or to become whatever we became nowadays. We were just like farmers who in front of them was a piece of land and they wanted to farm it, they wanted to plant in it, and they did make the plantation. I mentioned 4 or 5 characters that started Islamic Relief in the 80s to tell you how, to show you how easy it was. First of all, there was a famine in Africa, in Ethiopia, and the media was showing only one religion. Actually, not showing the multiplicity or the diversity of the people who came out as refugees from Ethiopia, Muslims and non-Muslims. They were focusing on one of the groups, which is a Christian only. When I went to go to Sudan for a medical meeting, because I was a medical doctor at that time, I'm not medical doctor anymore now, give up. That's right. You told me that. I didn't have money to buy the ticket. I went to the Central Mosque in London, Islamic Culture Center, and the man gave me £300 from a drawer. Sisters, brothers, nobody knows who gave this £300. This is the first individual he put or she put her seed as a seed of Islamic belief. Because I didn't have money to buy my ticket to go to Khartoum at that time. Up till now, we don't know who was this individual, black or Asian, European or American, Arab or non-Arab. Don't underestimate the value of sadaqah that you give and you don't know how Allah is going to use it. That's number 1. Number 2, the one who changed my mind by telling me, no, there's people from Ethiopia come from Eritrea. Eritrea 70, 80% or 90% are Muslims. But the media was biased of not showing that. I felt responsibility at that time. I said, we need to do something because none of the mosques knew what's happening at that time in 1983. Then he gave me some photographs. I stopped as a transit, actually, in Cairo, and the second donation I raised from a young boy at the age of 9 was 20 pence. Then I came back. I want somebody to help me. Because the idea become growing. I found one brother who was originally Palestinian but with Iraqi nationality. He was doing his PhD in chemistry and I was doing my doctorate of medicine. So 4 unknown, Sudanese, Egyptian, Palestinian. Then we open bank account, put whatever we have in the bank account. At that time, you can go walk in the bank, no security, no passport, no interrogation, nothing. Open the bank account. 1985, Yusuf Islam came to us. You know Yusuf Islam, Khat Stephen. And they wanted to join us. And he's the one who gave us the name of Islamic Relief. Jazakallah khair. Islamic Relief as a name given to us by Yusuf Islam in maybe February, March 1985, before he established Muslim Aid at that time. Then the logo designed by a Turkish designer who refused to be paid for that. And we don't know him. And we don't know the Turkish designer. So now we're talking about the first people who created Islamic Relief. The diversity and the multiplicity of the culture of the people who started Islamic Relief. First one, unknown. Second one, Sudanese. Third one, Egyptian. Fourth one, Palestinian. Fifth one, Greek. Number 6 is Turkish. So when you look at the seed, if it has this multiple dimension of its birth, the organization will have multiple dimensions of its activities. This is how it started. No office, no budget, no big names, nothing. We were legging it door to door, shop to shop, mosque to mosque at that time. I will end by saying one of the two of our activities. The first one was caravan tours, Ramadan caravan tours. During Ramadan, sisters and brothers, we never stayed at home for the whole month. Going around. Every day we were in different city. Sleeping in mosques, eating in mosques, making speeches in mosques, raising funds in mosques, as well as distributing leaflets in the mosque and outside. From the first day to the day of Eid. Sometimes we come after Eid. So our family, it was very painful for them. No iftari, no sihri with the wife or the children for the whole month. Even sometimes we miss Eid as well. This was Ramadan, it was how we managed to make the grassroots activity and connection. Our wife never complained at whatsoever. So when you get married, sisters, and you're actually, your husband is busy helping, you are taking half of his reward by sitting at home. You take your reward plus half of his reward. So please push him. So he's giving you some headache at home. Push him out so get the reward from him. This is the first big project. The second big project we did for a grassroots was the Islamic Relief Games, which started in 1989.
NEC.
NAC. But the year before that was Birmingham Sports Center. Actually, then we moved to NAC. We took the Muslim community to the high places because NAC at that time was no-go area for Muslim community. And I found, since Islamic Relief booked the area, it used to cost us for one day £25,000 for one day. You can imagine how difficult it was. But I was looking at the sisters coming with a big plow pot, kebab, samosa, very happy to eat and sit the whole day. Football, under 15, under 18, under 21, 5-a-side. Used to have 120 teams. Table tennis, volleyball, and the others for the day. This took us to a different dimension. To get people from Europe to attend, to get people from Scotland to attend, to get young people like you. By the way, since I am in Bradford, and one of the games, we used to put the people who come one night earlier in our office in Birmingham. And 3 or 4 teams from Bradford were talking. I went to them by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, said, stop talking. You have to sleep. I switched the light off. Said, no, we will sleep. Then I came back by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody. I said, now, if you don't sleep, I was very firm. If you don't sleep and you don't pray Fajr, you're not going to win tomorrow. I challenged them at that time. Second day, I found somebody at your age, jumping. We won. I said, yes, Mubarak, what's going on? I said, you came and told us if you don't sleep and pray Fajr, you are going to lose. We won under 16 and under 18. We are from Bradford. I said, okay, fine. This was Bradford 1991, 92, 93, something like that. This took the organization to the grassroots community at a different level. University student, even the chief constable of West Midland, when he saw the diversity of boys, girls, Asian, Arab, Muslim or non-Muslim, said, sir, you know what? I said, what? You can stand as a candidate for the parliament. Said, I have no time for you. But he was very happy to see all of them together. The third one, which was grassroots, is to bring our community into where the evening of inspiration, Royal Albert Hall. It was a no-go area as well to the working class Muslim community. And we used to hire this for Islamic Nasheed and recitation of Quran. So we started with the grassroots. If you ever ignore the grassroots or the community that you belong to, you will never grow up. You might become like a bamboo shoot, but you will never become like an oak tree. Oak tree can stay for 20, 30 years to become mature. Bamboo shoot, anybody can uproot it. Or you become a sugar cane. You can cut it to squeeze you, not you, the sugar cane. Actually, bamboo and sugar cane is not this. Sugar cane and bamboo will happen to you if you don't work with the community. You grow very fast, but with no roots. But if you have the roots, you'll become oak tree, or in Sudan, the Equatoria, the baldi tree, which can live for 300, 400 years, and inside the tree you can make offices as well. This is my introduction to you, and now I want from you to ask the difficult question. You think it's stupid? I love the stupid question. Think it's what else? What else?
Surprising.
Surprising? I love anything. Just speak. Today is about you to speak, not me to speak. Because I keep speaking. How many hours in the car I was speaking?
2.5.
2.5 only? The floor is yours.
I've got a question. MashaAllah, you've left a beautiful legacy, as a relief worker. Now, what do you see the future in terms of what's next for Islamic Relief in the next 5 years, 10 years? And what advice would you give to us, older and younger generation? What can we be doing at grassroots levels now to make sure the humanitarian work continues the way it has continued with Islamic Relief?
Don't ever forget the grassroots. Don't ever forget the ghettos. In the ghettos, there are treasures. Because most of the people who started with us as young volunteers in the 80s came from this area of Birmingham, Sparkhill, Sparkbrook, Allenbrook, and the other areas. People can look at them and say, yeah, you're from Sparkhill? No, because they value the people. Value the people and give them the space and build the trust in them. If they do mistake, Sister Fatma, no shouting. Maybe private meeting you can correct them. But if they do mistake once, twice or 3 times, so what? I did mistake. Everybody does mistake. This is number one. So if we actually would like to do what we have been doing before, the leader, Sister Fatma, should, while he is in position, should create young leadership. Don't come and tell me when I retire, I'll train people. I said, good for you. We don't want you. What does it mean? It means that when you are in position and having the authority, you're only interested to protect your position, not to make me as a leader. When you find a leader like this, Sister Fatma, this is a problem with us. Our leaders sometimes keep themselves busy to try to protect their position. That's why I have no time for you. They have to allow time for you to grow and trust you and give you the space and let you to take initiatives. Plus, if you fail, there's no problem. Try again. People who are the Nobel Peace Prize winners, failed hundreds of thousands of times till they got it, especially in chemistry and science and technology. Nobody can get it from the first time. We're not prophets. We're not messengers. This number one. Islamic Relief, if you talk about an organization, it has to be realistic and relevant, not to the current situation, but to the future. You have to think again ahead of the community, because if you lead from the front. Yes, there's no problem of somebody leading from behind, but without leading from the front, you cannot lead the community. You can lead from the front and somebody can support you from behind. You cannot lead from the behind all the time. So relevancy means now, as a mature organization who is 42 or 43 years old, it has to write the history, number one. We don't have the history of our organization written. The history of the mosques, not written. The history of Jama'at, not written. Everybody running, jumping, firefighter. No. What will we leave for the generation to come? What will you read? You come and listen to Hani al-Banna? Toz Hani al-Banna. So what? So what Hani al-Banna? So what Ali? So what Khadija? So what? But you need that the organization writes the history of the organization to be left as a legacy, organization legacy, not individual legacy. Now everybody is making individual legacy. Why don't you write a book about yourself? What? You talk about organization which employing 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 for the last 40 years, and you tell me write your legacy? What legacy? Organization made me. By the way, I'm the byproduct of Bosnia, Sudan, Pakistan, Afghanistan. I'm qualified from Islamic Relief as a student. Don't ever think that somebody made the organization. No. Organization made us. Organization owned us. We don't own the organization. The director or the chairman tells you, I own. Tell him, get lost. You are not a leader. You don't own it. You are an employee. You have been given the title because of the organization. Without the organization, you have no title. This is the problem, Sister Fatma. We have to be relevant. Number one, writing the history. Number two, writing policy and procedures. We're discussing in the car, why should I all of the time follow the policy of procedures of somebody who has different cultures? I respect the people who wrote the policy and procedures from the West, but where is my policy and procedure who carries my values, my culture, my belief, my iman? Why shouldn't I write the policy and procedure and let everybody to follow it? This is number two. Why shouldn't I visit the definitions of things? We're discussing humanitarianism, Sister Fatma. It's out of date nowadays. Bah. Why? Because we lead humanitarianism by double standard or triple standard or quadruple standard. We treat Ukraine, which is Christian country, differently to DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is a Christian country. Those people are white, those people are black, those people are African, those people are actually European. Wrong. This is not humanitarianism. Then we treat the Sudanese, the Gazan, the Palestinian, and the Yemeni different to Ukraine. It's no humanitarian standard. So the word humanitarian itself nowadays, Sister Fatima, became out of date. We have to create a new word to relate the human not to the human to God. That's why we developed something called creaturitarianism. In humanitarianism, the legislator is the human, the judge, the jury, the attorney, the lawyer, and the criminal. But in creaturitarianism, the legislator is Allah. The inclusivity of the creatures of Allah. Everybody. Don't come and tell me this climate change. I said, no way. I'm talking about all the creatures who are responsible for all the creatures of Allah. So we might need to change the terminology, to redefine the terminology. What are we doing after 40 years having all these resources? Number 4, Sister Fatima, is to make and create the young leadership when we are in office. I mentioned this many times to the people I worked under them, and the clear example, when Wasim and I were in Balochistan, he was an office worker in Balochistan, relief officer in Balochistan, in Pakistan, and I told him, what do you want to be? He said, I want to take your job. And I was the president at that time. He was not sacked. He became the CEO later on, after 20 years. This is what you need, Sister Fatima. You cannot face the right wing or the left wing or the up wing or the down wing or all the wings, the chicken wing or the coconut wings. The coconut has a wing. Actually, by yourself all the time. Number 4, the spokesman. We don't have a spokesman. We learned from 2001 how to face the camera. We said 2001, we are a part of the Muslim community in the West. We are going to stand up and defend the Muslim community in the West. We cannot hide. We have to invite the media to come and speak to us instead of them rushing us or coming to us without our permission. To do this, brother and sister, we want to have some training about how to face the camera. 5 of us. And we said, we appoint 1 spokesman and deputy. If a media contacting America, transfer them to us in Birmingham, to Mr. A or Mr. B. If South Africa contacting you, the same. So we managed to control the message coming out from the organization. Now go to any organization. Each one is speaking. Each one loves to stand off the camera without understanding how to face the camera. Without understanding that the people actually who are listening to him, not the presenter, it is the viewer at home. We learned from this at that time. Don't respond to the presenter. Speak to the people seeing you, listening you at home. And this is what we learned. And we won. We won because we have 1 spokesman and 1 deputy, and we have the message clear, and CNN made a very positive report about Islamic Relief Gaza in 2002. And we managed to get out of the dipping or diving in America. In 2003, the income or quadrupled or tripled. Because we opened the number 6 or number 7, Sister Fatima, is open your door. Transparency. The money is not your money. The organization does not belong to you or to your jama'ah. The organization belongs to whom? To the public. You cannot hide your wrong or your achievement. This is something we can face the community with that. Number 6 or 7 is connection and communication. We have a proverb called connection is protection. You connect, you protect. You don't connect, get lost. You got it? Yeah. You have not lost it. Huh? So keep connecting. I remember Wasim Yaqub, but he was not from Bradford Sharif, he was from Birmingham Sharif. He told me that he have heard in the Foreign Office in 2000 something that the growth rate of Islamic Relief was beyond the imagination of the government. Because we divide Islamic Relief in two parts. Somebody look after the international relation outside, which was myself, and Fadi was looking at Islamic Relief in UK. So we divided because we found that actually we have to go to the outside world to connect, keep connecting, keep connecting, keep connecting, keep opening the doors. That's why when September 11 came, it did not affect the Islamic Relief actually because we were opening the doors 10 years before September 11th or 8 years before September 11th. This is to answer your question, Sister
Go ahead, thank you.
Fatima. Speak up. I don't want sleeping beauties. Huh? Now I'm learning to speak the animal language. Because you are Bromia, let the Bradfordian speak first. because you have all the time. You did not get fed up from talking to me. Bradford Sharif.
Dr. Hani, what's the biggest issue facing Muslim charities at the moment and volunteers?
The limited transparency. What do I mean? You cannot come and tell me 0% admin cost.
Yeah.
Thank you. You cannot come and tell me that actually I'm not going to take administration from the zakat, which when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Al-Amina alayha. Okay, and start to justify it. How I'm going to, the only institution in the five pillars of Islam is zakat. Because this Amina alayha, or the admin cost, is to employ people, to write reports, to make reports, and like the condition. Why? What? All these fundraising tools is deadly for your organization, not for me. For me, I'm very, very honest in saying there's nothing called 0% admin cost. This is number one. Number two, not training young people and making them to be confident. How can we utilize young people nowadays? Putting them behind the desk to do the social media to fundraise for us. A robot sitting in front of screen. Tell this man or this woman or sitting behind the screen, go into the public. And how can you face the public? They will never be able to do that. Because I'm not exposing them. One of the quality of leadership is to connect physically with the public, not just sitting behind the desk as a robot like myself. Number three, we are not giving position to women and young people in the organization. Why should I have a unisex organization all the time? Not a gray hair, a no hair organization. All of us are bald, bismillah, mashallah, because we are bald. Look at his head.
It's full name.
Huh?
It's full name.
It's fallen. Huh? So the involvement, because women and young people represent 70% of the public. How on earth you don't involve the culture of women when they respond to humanitarian work, or the culture of young people when they respond to humanitarian work? We have to allow this to be a part of the discussion and part of the decision making process. These are facing our challenges. This is some of our challenges. Becoming firefighters. What do I mean, brother firefighters? All of us are doing the same thing. When there's fund. What afterwards? What about advocacy? Where is research, studies? Where is training? Where is building capacity of the people? Where is empowerment? Where is thinking? Even at the state of war, actually, Allah told us in Surah Tawbah, not all of you should go out. Some of you should be staying behind to think, to direct, to plan, and to support. Look at the end of Surah Tawbah, 121, 122. If Allah is guiding us to do this, why we don't do it? All of us, money. Money is good, but don't ever think that money is the solution for everything. Brain comes with money, before money, sorry. Thinking comes before money. Another point, brother, facing the Muslim, as I mentioned, the challenges to sister, responding to the question of Sister Fatima, is we stopped writing, we stopped reading, we become TikTok robots. Allah many times in the Quran mentioned the word book, 222 or 223 or 32. And 500 times Allah said book and the derivative of book. Why Allah keep insisting of book, 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 في كتاب مبين? Why? Because you have to register everything. And Allah created the first creation of Him, His Al-Arsh, His throne, water, then Al-Qalam, then Noon. You know what is Noon? It's the ink bottle. Noon والقلم وما يسطرون. Noon, the ink bottle. والقلم, the pen. وما يسطرون, what they write. Why Allah saying this? Is Allah is a headmaster, astaghfirullah azim, of a school, telling you, please get the ink pen, the ink what? The ink bottle. Please get your pen and please write. Why he keeps saying this to us? Why? Then Allah, from the first 4 or 5 items that have been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is Al-Lawh al-Mahfuz, the book. And He told the pen, write. Write, book, pen, ink bottle, from day one. And now, we stop writing, we stop reading. Why Allah sent Jibreel to ask Muhammad to read? Didn't Allah know that Muhammad does not read and write? And why Jibreel alayhi salam 3 times to ask Muhammad, read? He said, I can't, read, I can't, read, I can't. Why? Reading is not reading. There's a superficial meaning of reading. Reading means seek knowledge, understand, learn, get educated, research beyond the literal meaning of reading. You got the answer, brother? So all this, actually, facing the charities now become mad about fundraising. And fundraising becomes so easy. In the good old days, we used to leg it to raise £100 or £50. Wallahi, when we used to go to a mosque and raise £200, we make a celebration. Allahu Akbar, Narai Takbir. Zindabad. Come on. Either you come from Pakistan, come from India.
I'm from Leeds, man.
So, Narai Takbir.
Allahu Akbar. Yeah.
That's it. Narai Risala.
Ya Rasulullah.
Alayhi salatu wassalam. Anyway, so this actually, if you stop reading, somebody will let you to read what they write for you. If you stop thinking, somebody will let you to think the way they want you to think. Somebody will control your ability to think, to comprehend, to understand, to produce your ideas. I get the AI to get my thesis right. Dead meat. You know why? When I was writing your paper, I resisted. I used some time to get some of the meaning of wording, but I have to write my own idea. Like this morning, after finishing what I wrote to them last week, the idea to complete, I said, what's next? I have to do what's next. After every event, you have to put this point. What's next? Why the conference? What's next? Why the workshop? What's next? Why the gathering? What's next? Why the demonstration? What's next? Why the stand? What's next? Don't stop using what's next, because there's always next to what's next, and next, what's next, and what's next become next. You got it?
Just about.
Just about, okay? Naray Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Yes, well, thank you.
I've got a question.
Yes.
What are the key components to building a legacy?
Don't think about building a legacy. Because the people think that they can build a legacy, they will never build a legacy. Be busy of being with the people, serving, and lowering yourself and your back and your status to the public. This is the legacy. Legacy is a blessing of the people towards you, being accepted by Allah, so He can make a legacy for you, whether you during your life or after we die. Legacy is not something we learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. We were talking about 4 characters this morning when coming here. One of them, Edie, Sattar Edie. He never thought about creating a legacy. He was not educated. He was a front door-to-door salesman. And they created an organization because of the death of his mother, because there was no ambulance at that time. I don't think whatsoever for a split of a second that Abdul Sattar Iji Rahmatullah alayh was thinking to build a legacy. But he was thinking to sort a problem out, the ambulance problem in Pakistan. If we think that we can become champion by making a legacy, what legacy? Legacy is the acceptance of people to what you do. If they accept you, Allah will make the legacy for yourself. And you don't know this. It comes to you. So keep yourself busy serving, busy delivering, busy listening, busy empowering, busy telling people what's right and what's wrong, busy standing for hardship will face you. وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. What's the beginning of the surah? والعصر إن الإنسان يخسر. With the name of the time. Man or insan, human is lost. Apart from the people who are believer. تواصوا بالحق. Once you say the truth, you have to stand up for the hardship and being patient. When Waraq ibn Nawfal, which was one of the cousins of Sayyidah Khadija radiallahu anha, after the wahi came to the Prophet ﷺ, she took him to Waraq ibn Nawfal. He knew the Old Testament and all this kind of old teaching. And they said, if I live till you become a prophet, I will believe in you. And he told him one thing, and I can support you when your people will throw you out of Mecca. Prophet ﷺ was shocked because he was al-Amin. He said, are they going to throw me out of Mecca? I said, yes, they will. Like they have done to all the prophets before you. This elite club at every nation was against Nuh alayhi salam, against Ibrahim alayhi salam, against Zakaria alayhi salam, against Yahya alayhi salam, against Hud alayhi salam, against Salih alayhi salam, against everybody, even the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam were so jealous of him, against Muhammad alayhi salam, against Musa alayhi salam. Are they going to throw me out of Mecca? Yes, they are. Tawasa bil haqq, because they are going to say the truth. And the elite does not like to hear the news, the truth. Because the elite would like to act as God. As they said to him, أَجَعَلَ الْآلِهَةَ إِلَهًا وَاحِدًا. Have he made all our gods, Allat wal Uzza, one God? So what are we going to do? Are we going to do our job? Isn't it? This is happening up to today. So, thank you. Next.
Just a question I had.
Sisters are not speaking of the... Fatima opened the cut the ribbon. After him, I'll have to come and force you, huh? You know. I'm shooting at you. Go on.
I'm being recorded by the way.
Anyway, I know that.
Just one question I had was, what is one tip you would give to somebody that's new into the charity sector, or someone that wants to come in but feels a bit like uneasy or finds it difficult to get in? What's one tip you would give?
First, if you are new to the sector, you have to listen, to learn, and to observe. Sometimes we learn to keep quiet because we don't know the terminology of the sector. We don't know the philosophy of thinking of the people in the sector. We don't know the wording of the system. So maybe for the first few months, keep asking, taking sympathy of you're trying to learn. If you try to come from no experience to jump and start to give opinion, see, it might make a bad impression on you. When we thought that we are going to open up to the outside world, in 1993, we registered Islamic Relief in ECOSOC and United Nations with a fight. You know, with a fight? With a fight inside United Nations. Because we were blocked by some of the ambassadors. The 3 Arab ambassadors turned their back to me. And another European ambassador said, no, we don't want Islamic Relief. After giving all the presentation and all the reports, I heard on Friday of this week, end of March 1993, that they're going to put us on a roster status. I thought roster is roasted chicken at that time because I don't know what roster means. Roster was a chicken, isn't it? Huh? Rooster, not roster. And the Sudanese ambassador told me, you come after 2 years. You know, my Egyptian character came out. I went straight to the stage, hold the microphone. The chairwoman told me, sit down, sir, down. I said, no, I give you everything you want. Reports, finance, letters, everything. What else you want from me? I was in a very angry mood. When I'm in a very angry mood, my voice becomes stronger than today. You know who saved the situation? The Irish ambassador was a non-Muslim. He took the microphone and they said, well, I sympathize with the Islamic Relief representative who have been here for the last week, spending all this money, actually, and they give us all the reports, and even Islamic Relief donated 300 metric ton of wheat flour to our office in Bosnia. I endorsed them. So it changed the decision of blocking Islamic Relief. Here, you stand up firm and know your right and deliver what you need to do, and we got it. On the following Monday, the Sudanese ambassador endorsed us, so we registered. Don't think because you go to this high level meeting, you keep quiet. But learn how to speak at the right time. Be prepared. Be prepared and learn how to speak at the right time. And you'll get your right because we got it. I'm talking from experience. So for the young people who come to the sector, they have at least, if somebody came to Islamic Relief, become a director, I told them, don't talk to me for the first 6 months. Keep observing and absorbing. Don't talk like a champion on a sector like you don't know. Once you understand, you can talk. Go and visit the field. Nobody can give sound opinion about charity humanitarian organization without visiting the field offices. I told you earlier on, half an hour ago, that I'm the byproduct of what? Of Bosnia, of Pakistan, of Bangladesh, of Sudan. I'm a qualified student of those nations because our names have been made through the suffering of those people. Don't come and undermine their feeling, their dreams, their stand, their suffering, their patience. Don't ever undermine this. And always, we have a proverb saying that نحن أجراء للفقراء. We are employees by our employer. Who is our employer, sister? What's your name?
Amara.
Amara. My sister-in-law, my daughter-in-law, my sister. Her name is Amara, and Amara is Amara. Did you write Amara?
No.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, so what happened? I have to pull his leg because he is like a sultan. And what I was talking about
Your employer.
the employer. We are the beneficiaries of the poor. Don't ever call the poor as beneficiaries anymore. They are right holders. They spend the money we raise for them on our salaries. This is your right to tell public and to change the course of action of understanding. Those people, when you say this, I can respond badly to you. You are here in this office because this is the money of the poor. Spend on electricity, on drink, water, when they must not have the same water there. Our employer is the poor, the widow, the orphan, the displaced, the destitute, the refugee, as well as the sick and the elderly. And this was the first speech of Umar ibn Abdul Aziz when he became appointed as Khalifa. And he was looking himself in his cell, crying, and he came out, and his wife was joyful, Fatima bint Abdul Malik, because his husband's Khalifa. I said, what's wrong with you, my husband? He said, what's wrong with you, my wife? Don't you think, don't you see what I'm having? The responsibility on my shoulder. I sat down in my room for 3 days to think about whom? The hungry poor, the elderly man, the lonely widow, the deserted orphan, and the unjust prisoner in the cell. These are the people, the most vulnerable. He was not looking at the most prestigious space for himself as Khalifa, but the most vulnerable individual in the community. This is where you want to make the legacy. He never made the legacy. He never thought about making legacy. But he became the legacy. Umar ibn Abdul became the legacy that we are talking about him maybe 1,300 years after he died, after he was poisoned by his family member. Yes, sisters, now the time for sisters to speak up, or I speak them up. Is it English? I speak them up. It's English, huh?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
It
sense.
works.
I speak them up.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
got one question.
No, you ask them to speak because they would be hiding behind you.
Okay, I've got a question.
Yes, Amara speaking now.
So in terms of when it comes to actual employers, what can we do as professionals to help with the Islamic Relief?
What
Because a
says
lot of-
the question again?
So what can we do as professionals, because a lot of volunteers start working,
Yeah.
what can we do to help further Islamic Relief?
Volunteers are not working?
No, the question was, as volunteers, there
Ah.
are young professionals working in different fields.
Oh.
How can they help to support the work of furthering Islamic relief?
First of all, see why you became a volunteer. Is to pass time, is to know friends, is to help people, is to raise fund, is to learn. There's many questions that you put on the table. You are a professional accountant or a media or project manager or whatever the professional is in it. What added, think about as well, what added value you add to the organization. You go to the organization with your CV. Okay? Your CV. Brothers, I can do this. Don't call yourself professional, by the way. I can do this in a modest way. Okay? Because I'm expert in that. Showing your good character when you are a volunteer. Because if you are pushing hard and sometimes aggressive, people will be scared of you. Be modest. be humble and show humility, actually, and be listener, because you want to learn and see what is the big vision for you. When you look at, you have any photograph in a photograph of people in a magazine?
Impact. What is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the images of people not as photographs, as feeling, as suffering, as happiness, as needs. Don't look at them because, oh, there are some children, looks nice. No, no, no. Look at them and see if you are put in their position, what could have happened to you and me. Like, look at all this photograph. This old woman, what's behind her? Her broken house, destroyed house. And look at her image. She is shocked, but still holding firm to her cane. Look at this woman in a different situation, with the plantation behind her, smiling with the child because she has a project. Here, the suffering, here, there's the joy. When you look at this, live their issue. Sister Amara, live their issue and put your foot in their shoes. Say, Alhamdulillah, that I'm not in their shoes. So I can help them. I can think for them. You don't have to become a volunteer for 1 hour a week or 2 hours a week. You think about them. In the good old days, Sister Amara, we used to call people at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. But the quality of the people at the time, Bismillah, mashallah. Once upon a time, I called somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning. I told him, are you awake? He said, it looks like I'm awake. Because I'm responding to you. When I went to United Nations in the Human Rights meeting in January 2005, after tsunami, I was with Adil, and I was coming from Indonesia, Sri Lanka, New York. And my speech was about tsunami. Then at 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up Adil. I told Adil, are you awake? He said, yes. I said, what do you want now? We just came with a jet lag. I said, come to my room. He came to my room for 3 hours to rewrite my speech again. You know what my speech was about? Make any suggestion. Not tsunami. Any suggestions? I changed my speech from tsunami to something else. Any suggestion?
Earthquake.
Huh?
Earthquake.
No. I said no tsunami, no earthquake.
Oh.
Service.
Service. Okay. Anybody else?
Humanity?
Huh?
Humanity?
Yeah, in a way. Anybody else?
Duty.
Huh?
Amana.
Duty, amana. Okay. Anybody else?
Legacy.
He doesn't like that word.
He's insisting. A United Nation without Security Council, without veto, without the right. Huh?
That was my next one I was going to say.
Where does it come from? He should be the CEO of this one. You see, I don't know why it came to me, but I felt guilty of not talking about it in 2000 and what, tsunami was what? No, not 2000. Tsunami. No. Tsunami 2005. December. It was December. 25 years ago. And up till now, look at how many decisions made by the General Council and General Assembly and be blocked was by one country. One country against 180 or 190 countries. Thank you, Sister Amar. And you know what you want to become professional? Make the poor people to make you professional. because you become the outcome or the output of their ideas and the values they give to you to drive you to show your professionalism more and more and more. Yes, brothers and sisters. More questions, sisters? Yes, Sister Fatma?
Just looking back in at your journey, in your leadership role, is there anything you would have done differently
If I go back,
if you go back?
I will go back, I do it again, but with different time scale. And in the 80s, there was no telephones, there was no internet, there was no... You know, when we get the first computer, it was Bismillah, mashallah, as big as this. It was donation. And I used to sit down behind it. I said, we have computer, we have computer, we have computer. I did not know how to use computer, even up to now. I just use the keyboard. I can use the keyboard only. That's good for me, alhamdulillah, because many people, but I empower, astaghfirullah, I empower the people who have the technology, because I believe in technology. But I don't want to make the technology to make me mad. So we do it again with the same value, the same drive, but with different tools to reduce the time that we made. But the only thing that we cannot drop is being with young people to make them leader from the age of 15, 16, and 17, and 18. Because if you don't catch them at that time, it will be too late for you. So this is that. And at the very beginning, we were supported by our sisters helping us. And we have to have a role for sisters as well. So these are the things. Because value cannot be changed. Your drive, your belief cannot be changed. Your vision cannot be changed. The tools can be changed. But writing, documenting, analyzing, researching is must. Is must. Is a compelling necessity and duty. Don't ever and never forever to drop it. Don't ever let them to make you robots. I am a robot. I'm not a robot. You know why? Because Allah told Adam, وَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِنَا. You know, when Allah created Adam, and there was the Satan was arguing with him, Allah put the sword of Allah in the body of Adam. So that each and every one of us, brothers and sisters, the value of the Spirit of Allah in you, in you, in you, in you, in all of us, whether we are Muslims or Kafir or non-Muslims. وَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِنَا. The same. So respect the Spirit of Allah that we have in our heart. And work accordingly. If you manipulate this spirit and bring it up, it will drive you to a different dimension and different horizons. But we do not know that Allah, we do not, sometimes we forget that Allah is here inside us. Male and female, young and old, Muslims and non-Muslims. وَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِنَا. Yes, Sister Fatima. Anybody else?
I think we'll have 2 more questions.
Yes, sir.
I've got one question.
And Abdul Rashid, a good question as well. We'll allow him, or we can leave the Bradfordian and speak. You can roast me in the car, huh? Okay. Yes, Javid Bastam. I used to call your father Imam Abu Hanifa.
Imam Abu Hanifa.
He's Hanafi.
Hanafi.
Of course, he's not Hanafi. He hardcore Hanafi than Abu Hanifa himself. If Abu Hanifa is with us, your father will teach him.
I think nowadays there's more of a volunteer crisis among organisations. So what did you do back then to bring volunteers? But also, what did you offer for them to stay? And I think the issue is sometimes with organisations, if we see it as transactional, where we need them for their time, but we're not giving them anything back for them to stay or to go to anywhere else. And also, how do we work better with more youth organisations like your Young Muslims, your UKIMs, not just to ask them for money, but how do we bring in their people as our volunteers?
Yeah. For the volunteers, to be very honest, strategically, volunteers should be looked after by the chairman, by the directors and by the CEO, not by officers. When I was a medical doctor, in the ward round in the morning, the head of the department, the professor or the consultant, used to come with nurses and with sisters and with registrar and with young doctors and with medical students. In the middle of the ward, he used to tell everybody, your responsibility is the medical student. Medical students is like a volunteer. So the authority of the president or the chairman or the leader is to nurture the soul and the mind and the spirit of the volunteers. Let them to feel important. If he let or she lets the volunteer to feel important, they will come and do everything for you. But sometimes the one who is in charge of the volunteers, by 5 o'clock he leaves or she leaves. Does not see in you the sacrifices. And they want you to make them sacrifice this time. This is where the double standard could be happening. The strategy, what I want from the volunteers, after, I have to give him a reward, not financial reward. Maybe the best volunteer of Bradford, we can give him a ticket to go to spend a week or 2 weeks in Sudan or in Afghanistan and come and speak about it to the community. To learn, to write a recommendation letter for the university or for his job when they apply. To engage them in training program. It's more important than the money. Of course, the minimum you can give him is the transport money and maybe a meal. Because some of the volunteers need it. At least if you don't need it, this is available for you. Because in the good old days, we knew how much the transport was difficult for the volunteers at that time. And the sandwich. Because some of the volunteers, Bismillah, mashallah, used to come from a very poor family at that time. And most of our families at that time were working class. This kind of token of appreciation is there. But if somebody would like to steal your volunteers, tell them, peace be upon you, I have no time for you. But if they don't see their importance in your care for them, they will leave you. I give you the practical example. I mentioned at the beginning was your friend's sister, your mother was supposed to be going to America in 1993, but she preferred Bradford.
Obviously, alhamdulillah.
I was
I
begging
chose to stay in Bradford.
I was begging her to go to America with Javid.
Okay.
But she said, no, Bradford means Bradford. We sent to Bradford Jangir, Shaheen,
He sent to America.
and there was Anwar.
Anwar.
Jangir and Shaheen were actually in 1993, Anwar 1994. But we gave them the space and the confidence. In few years' time, they galloped America, north, south, east, and west. Because they came out from where? From the ghettos of Birmingham, and they've been entrenched with all of us. Somebody was trying to give them double the salary. In 96, 97, said no. Triple the salary, said no. Because they found themselves leading the organization. Standing for the organization. Raising the organization. If you give them the space, they will stay with you even if there is no reward, financial reward. Financial reward is not the only reward. It's one of the rewards. But if some other organization gives them more money, go. I don't want you. The second part of your question, we have to engage with other community organizations. Actually, whether we like it or not, as I mentioned earlier, connection is protection. And we have to pass our knowledge to them. We don't become super arrogant on them. No. In the good old days, I did mistakes, as I mentioned. We did mistakes. We did not have policy, we didn't have procedure, we were just working like this. If find some of this organization is less in management skills than you have to improve the skills because you have the facilities, you have the means. With youth organization, you can sponsor them. Plenty of youth organization need some money. Women organization, children organization, social organization. Now in UK, about nearly 500 social organization. Maybe 40-50% of them run by women. Announce it. Celebrate the role of women in Islam in action. These kind of things which you can do. But be supporter because you have the resources. See, when they asked me to come today, a long time ago, Alhamdulillah, he told me, why don't you come earlier? I was very happy because I'm going out from this meeting, Sister Fatima, and all of you, more motivated, more uplifted. You know, when you go to the sky, you sit on the moon and you stretch your legs and look down. Now you are taking me up. So when you take me up, please bring me down. So I'm motivated by this meeting. That's why, inshallah, alhamdulillah, I'm very happy. And I want more meetings like this to motivate me and to teach me and let me to learn from you. You got it?
Allah is to learn from you as well.
Well, maybe. Yes, sisters, in the hiding, in the bush. No, George Bush, Ali Bush, Mahmoud Bush. The James Bond, Ali Bond, Mahmoud Bond.
I've got one last question.
James Bond?
What were your foundations, from a young age? Some of us part of organizations and, like YM and things like that, we came through that system and that was our foundations. Were you part of anything similar back in Egypt, or was there something at home that helped to build you?
I was the foundation of my mother and my father, because my father was professor of Islamic Sharia at Azhar University. My mother was by nature a community worker. She loves to organize people, marriage, divorce, dowry, and support, this kind of things. People fighting one another, come to the house. And she was like this, bringing them. So the space given to my mother by my father was incredible. She managed to bring everybody to the house. I saw this as if I'm brought up in a community organization, guided by the authority of my father as a Sharia man, and led by the capability of my mother, which is a community worker. These two. Second, learning Arabic language. My father was very, very adamant to get me to go to Al-Azhar University. And they get me a teacher to teach me Arabic. I give all the gratitude to Sheikh Mahmoud, who was actually teaching me, and I was a very bad boy at that time, calling him names, running out from him, and I was very bad young boy. So the third point was actually the culture of the area which I was brought up, the Old Cairo. When you go to Old Cairo, you smell the history, you smell the culture, you smell the philosophy of thinking of the people who lived in this area for more than 1,000 years. An area which is more than 1,000 years old, called the Darb al-Ahmar. All my mother's relatives from this area. So I learned from them, the closeness, the family bonding. No thinking like you're thinking. I have to be brought up in something. No, nothing. So I was like any boy, playing football in the street, The socks, you know socks, football.
Yeah.
Get the socks, put some sponge, tie it around, become football. And there used to be a goalkeeper. And when they scored me, I just jump on the ground and said, "Oh my God!" So to create sympathy for myself. And because at that time all the girls from the balconies are watching. Didn't you think that we have a heart to love? We have. Everybody has heart to love. Has heart to be attracted. Is that right? Including you. Huh? So, see, the culture of the area is very important. The quality of the fatherhood or motherhood was very, very important. When I had my polio in my right leg, actually, my mother was nursing me like, what do you call it, Bismillah, mashallah, yani, never let me to feel that I'm having some difficulty. And she used to take me here and there and encourage me to play sports, to buy everything for me. As a leader of the family, with the space given to her by father, because father would give a space to her, and she was giving the space to father. So all of them were sharing the responsibility. It's not the responsibility to be carried only by the father. Father and mother are carrying the same responsibility. I learned from this. I learned from this is something very personal, but being made public very much. When I was refused 4 times for proposal, refused, huh? Not refusing. You got it? Yes, is that right?
Rejected 4 times.
That's it. Rejected 4 times, alhamdulillah. I knew why. Because Allah was giving me the one who will stand next to me at the time of suffering, at the time of hardship, of creation of Islamic Relief. The other 4 were very good, but they have mother and they have father. The one I married, Bismillah, mashallah, and she did not have both of them because both of them died, and she came to be the one and the only one supporting me. So I realized why Allah did not allow me to marry one of the others. This is something also you calculate the role of your wife with you at home. It's very, very important. All this, you don't have to be brought up in a mosque or in a jama'ah or an institution to learn. Your mother, your father, your relatives. When you hear the stories happen to your relatives of suffering, the divorce, the one who want to get married, and this kind of we were like a sponge absorbing all this information. Now when I'm talking to you, I'm looking at some of my family members who were widows or divorcees, but they raised great people with very low income. And this happened in Pakistan, in India, in Bangladesh. See how much the mother suffered, raising up 5 or 6 or 7 people with a husband who was a laborer or a mechanic. She was this one, managed to give the doctors, the professors, the teachers, all of them, because she wanted. One of the greatest doctor in Egypt, his mother was a divorcee, and her husband was treating her very badly. She ran away from the village to Alexandria to teach her son, and she insisted to teach her son. She wanted him to become a doctor, and he became a doctor as a single mother. Then luckily when he became a doctor, he managed to treat the, I think, Sultan at the time or the king. When he treated him surgically, he was promoted to Pasha. The word Pasha, like in Turkish, is the title. Then he became the minister. Then he became the head of the Egyptian Medical Syndicate. From a farming mother, he used to work as a cleaner in the house. When I hear this story, my body shivers and my eyes goes around to cry, because I can see how much she managed to give in to her son became Pasha. afterwards. So she is the sultana. You got it? You don't have to be here and there. You don't have to be educated. You don't have to be educated. You have to be having the ability to learn, to listen, to understand, to connect. To connect and to observe, then to behave. One of the two things which I would love to end, not to end, to start my second journey is the Arabic language and the Quran. Never ever and never forever lose the connection or the companionship or the connectivity with Quran and the Arabic language. Arabic language is the language that Allah chosen His book for it. Quran is the source of barakah for humanity, for Muslims and for non-Muslims. Even if the non-Muslims hear the Quran without understanding it, the barakah of Quran will come to the room. Please, for God's sake, Arabic language increase your capacity of your brain, enable you to think better, to see better, to act better. And the Quran is a God-given gift to humanity. Encourage the non-Muslims to learn from it, not to make them Muslims, but to make them better. Yes, sir. تفضل.
I think we've got one last question.
Ah.
I got one. What sort of learning would you recommend a young person seeks out to develop themselves? And like I know you mentioned it's important to do a lot of reading. So is there any sort of books that you can recommend?
It depends what you want to do. There's basic facts of reading. The basic reading is history, it's culture, it's values, is the religion. The second, which is specialism, is your subject itself. You are in management, you are in media, you are in project implementation, all this. Excel your specialism. Like sister was talking about professionalism. You want to become professional, you have to understand what's the ins and outs of everything. I cannot give you special book. The general books will broaden the scope of thinking. Certain individual who may be scholars or can actually show you the way. But your homework means also to learn more and more and more from the street, from being mixing with people. So every man and woman you see is an open book. Every lecture you listen to is an experience of 20 or 30 or 40 years. When I used to go to Davos in Switzerland, sometimes we say that those people drink much, go with women, but we don't know, we don't realize that when they work 24/7, more than any one of us. The meeting in Davos, in World Economic Forum, starts from 7 o'clock to midnight. Parallel meeting could be 20 or 30 parallel meeting at the hour. They cannot go to all of them. Now those people are very hard workers. When I used to listen to the speakers in Davos, each talk equivalent to 30 or 40 years experience. Because they're choosing a credible, integral, and experienced individual can give you his experience in 10, 20 minutes. There's many ways of learning. Many ways. And the more you listen, the more you connect, the more you act, the more you become confident in yourself and having all this absorption in you, because you are like a sponge and I'm like a sponge to absorb all this in myself. So there's no end for or no direction or just one direction of books. But my appeal to all of you sisters and brothers now is we have to start reading again. We have, for God's sake, we have to start reading again. We have to start writing again. Noon والقلم وما يسطرون. Noon, which is the ink bottle, والقلم, the pen, وما يسطرون, right? ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون. Read, write, produce books. Sometimes we think that producing books is a waste of time. The decision makers at everywhere read books. Don't listen to emotional speeches. Don't look at my tears, my emotion. Thank you. You're a good man. What did you produce? Nothing. Thank you. What legacy you leave behind is a book for community to read. It's an idea, then action, is value, is training, is empowerment. I end by saying two formula. Maybe I said this two formula in the meeting last week, the women's meeting, Khadija's formula, which alhamdulillah, sister, what's her name, Najiba?
Shuruk Najiba, yeah.
Yeah, she said that she will look at the Khadija's formula, the social formula. The second one is the Qarnayn formula. The Qarnayn, when he came to those people who could not be able to speak, attacked by Gog and Magog every year. First, he done protection with the army, discovered local resources, go and get the iron, engage the community with him, empower the community by letting them to set the fire and collect the wood, transfer the technology of how to melt the iron and how to melt the copper and how to mix them and make the alloy, then build the wall for them for no reward. Read the stories in the Quran to understand the social aspect of life and how it has been managed by the great people mentioned in the Quran. The lesson of Al-Khidr to Musa, the lesson of patience. A teacher is teaching the student. The student was a prophet. And the teacher was a slave, Allah. But his mission was to teach the prophet. And he did. This is what you need to go back to look at the social aspect of the deen that you believe in. The acts of Khulafa al-Rashidin, social acts. The acts of al-ulama, social aspects. If you talk about social life, all these learning tools for me and you. And there is no end of learning, there is no end of seeking knowledge. Is that right? What's your name? Mustafa. Habib. Habib al-Mustafa. Bismillah, mashallah. Name of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you mix the two names, Al-Habib al-Mustafa. Thank you. Thank you. Now, can somebody bring me down from the moon? Will you leave me alone?
You can stay up there.
Oh, I want to go to my family.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much to Dr. Hani for making the journey for us and sharing a lot of wisdom there, a lot of things that we can take on, inshallah. and I hope, inshallah, and I make dua that Allah accepts all of his efforts and keeps him steadfast and
Our
sincere.
efforts.
All of our efforts, and Allah.
F-O-U-R-O. You speak English?
Just about.
This business, then now is where they learn English from. Come to me to teach you.
And may Allah unite us in a better abode in Jannah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
And land first, in this life first.
This life. And may Allah also allow us to benefit and to implement any lessons that we learned from today as well, inshallah. Unfortunately, we have to finish just because we have another event. But thank you so much for being patient with us and for sitting down. And hopefully, inshallah, we'll have another opportunity once again to have Dr. Hani and to benefit more, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. And just to give a translation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, by time indeed mankind is in loss except for those who have believed and done righteous deeds and called each other to truth and called each other to patience. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
جزاك الله خير.
Thank you.